Good morning. Welcome to Gentle Yoga. Let's begin at the top of the mat. And we're just going to walk through our stance. See how our feet feel, our knees and our hips. Take a deep breath in. Just notice your surroundings. Relax and release everything. Just feel how your toes touch that mat. How the heels come down. See your stance. If you notice your feet are out in that pie already, bring those toes in. Nice and parallel. Or if you're a little pigeon-toed today, bring those feet back into parallel position. Perfect. Now as we slow those feet down, breathe deep into the body. Find that length. So we want to bring that breath through the diaphragm into those hips. Lengthening that breath, releasing and relaxing. Hands are going to extend out to the sides, palms forward. Shoulders coming down and softening. Perfect. Now we're going to begin by lifting that right knee forward, so breathe into that left hip. Nice deep breath into that left side as that right knee comes forward, and we're just going to roll through the ankle. Now take it slow, don't lock the left leg, keep it nice and tall though, and just feel the curves around the knuckles of the toes, around the balls of the feet. See how the hip and the knee feels, and if you want, you can open a little bit wider, getting right into that hip joint. Think about that mobility. As we concentrate on that right foot, breathe into the left leg, relax your shoulders. Now slowly reverse when you're ready, drawing it in, scooping through the hip. Perfect. Again, not working in any pain zones. If this hurts, the movement's smaller, we just stand and breathe. One more time around. Shoulders relax, heel comes down, and just gently walk it out. Good job. Spread those toes, feel those toes separating on the mat. Body's beginning to relax, and as we stand nice and tall, hold your pose, soften your knees. Take a deep breath in, think about the left knee coming forward, breathing into the right side. Good, opening up through the toes. When you're ready, begin to circle that knee around. Start small, see how this side feels. And then as the hip opens, working a little bit deeper into those hip joints. Our footwork is so important. Begin relaxing the shoulders if we've taken some tension and some concentration into the shoulders. And then when you're ready, slowing it down, reverse that ankle. Around we go. Perfect. One more time. And then bring that ankle down to the mat and just walk it out. Perfect. Open up those toes, heels planted, knees soft. Hands are going to come up to the sky, palms to the ceiling, fingertips to the back of the room. Breathe into the belly, breathe into the chest. Drop your shoulders down. Start slow and gentle, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, hands just above the knees. We're going to a half extension. So push the tailbone back. If the knees stay a little bit bent to begin with, that's okay. Begin lengthening the tailbone up towards the sky, flattening out the spine. Look straight down to the floor. Pull those shoulders towards your hips. On the next inhale, soften the knees. Exhale, lower the hands towards the mat, towards the floor, and maybe if you need to, grab your block. Get your balance, and when we begin to release that tension, start to lengthen through that tailbone towards the sky. Let the crown begin to lower. And just let your shoulders draw back to the hips, keeping them active as we breathe. Just give your body a moment to start registering these movements. See how we feel. And then on the next inhale, releasing those knees, softening them into a bend. Come up to that half extension, hands slide up, back lengthens, so do those legs. Wonderful, draw the shoulders back. Deep breath in, soften the knees, tuck your tailbone, roll up to a nice standing position. Through the body, those shoulders lift, and then slowly lower, arms rise. Belly opens, chest opens, shoulders relax, knees stay soft. And as we come up nice and tall, bring your arms to the football arms. Drop the shoulders down. Take your right elbow down towards your right back pocket. Look down the right side of your body. Feel the contraction on the right side as we open up the left and up through the left side of the neck, relaxing the shoulders. Inhale, bring those arms back up. Press to the sky, open the belly, open the chest, relax the shoulders. Come back down into your football arms, both arms, shoulders equal. Drop the left elbow towards that left hip. Looking down the left side of the body, knees are soft. Neck on the right side is opening as we relax that right shoulder. And then inhale, back up, big belly breath. Relax the shoulders, and then exhale, half extension, hands above the knees. Lengthen through the legs, lengthen through the spine, shoulders back. Inhale, soften the knees, lower to your block or to your mat, lifting your tailbone, lowering the crown if you feel safe to go down. Well done. Inhale, look up at your fingertips, soften your knees, find the corners of your mat. We're going to walk our feet back into our plank. Now we might start kneeling with your shins and shoelaces on the mat, lengthening through the body. We might have to go to our forearms. But if we're going to roll up onto the balls of the feet, we're pulling the shoulders back and reaching with those heels. We should feel no pain or pressure in that lower back. The core should be working. Now breathe into those shoulder blades. Breathe into that spine all the way to your tailbone. Perfect. Nice deep breath in. Now visualize your tailbone lifting to the sky as we soften the knees. The tailbone's going to sweep up. The head's going to lower between the arms. And as we come to that downward dog, we can walk our feet in if we need. We're going to lengthen through the spine. Drop the heart towards the mat. And just breathe into that body. Feel your breath traveling deeper and deeper as we lengthen through the legs, reaching through those heels. Inhale, look up towards your fingers. This time we're going to draw the left leg with us, stepping forward into a lunge position. Widen your stance. Remember, we're on a train track, not a tightrope. The ball of your right foot, all 5 of them are on the mat while the heel is lifted. Good job. Take your hands to that left knee. As we come up, the hips are nice and level. We're going to open up that right hip, and if the stance is too wide, just bring your back leg forward. Hands rise to the sky. Shoulders stay low, belly and chest open, and as we sink to where we feel safe, that front knee bends but doesn't pass those toes. Check the neck. Let's relax that tension. Beautiful. Bring the hands down to the top of the mat. Come to that right knee. Giving ourselves another option, extend through the shoelace. The left knee is over the left ankle, and we can come to our block if we need to, if we feel safer here. Make sure we've applied pressure in the top of the shoelace, not loading the knee. If we need to buckle it up a little bit, we tuck that mat under that knee. Otherwise, we can let the hands float up, belly opens, chest opens. Nice deep breath in as we relax the shoulders, lengthening from the tailbone to the crown. Breathe into that belly. Well done. Hands come to the top of the mat. Curl your right toe back up underneath you. Come to your lunge. Keep your right hand to the mat. Bring your left hand to the left knee. Now we're going to look over to the left side as we pull our shoulders back. Reach into your right heel. Find the length from your crown through your tailbone to your right heel. We can stay here as we strengthen that left leg. We can take that left hand and extend it to the sky if we choose, and as we follow the hand with our eyes, lengthen from arm to arm and crown to right heel. Feel that opening through your left hip. Now if this hurts the wrist, we can go to fingertips, we can do a fist, or we can use the block. Take that beautiful breath in, and as that left hand comes back to that left knee, then extend it to the mat. So we're facing the mat, fingertips to the corners of the mat. Both hands down. Draw your right leg forward by loading your left. Coming to that half extension, lift your tailbone, bow that crown forward. Use your block or use the mat. Deep breath in. Notice your feet lined up. Notice your knees lined up. However, we're not locking those knees. Deep breath in, soften the knees, roll the body up. Coming to that half extension, the hands stop at the knees, the legs lengthen, and so does the spine. Pull the shoulders towards your hips. Nice. Feel that length through the neck. Inhale, soften the knees once again. Roll that tailbone under. Come all the way up. Roll the shoulders back as we inhale. Exhale, lower, arms float up to the sky. Belly breath, chest opens. Feel that extension as you open up your body like a bamboo stick. Lengthening. As we come up nice and tall, bring your arms to your football arms. Good, shoulders relax. Right elbow to right back pocket, look down the right side of the body. Open up through the left side of the neck and to the hip. Inhale back up, football arms extending to a belly breath. Shoulders relax. Good, come up nice and tall once again. Football arms. Left elbow towards the left hip. Look down that left side. Inhale, come back up. Belly breath, chest open. Find that length. And then sweep the hands all the way down above the knees, that half extension. Lowering halfway, lengthening through the tailbone. Pull the shoulders back. Elbows towards your hips. Nice. Release the hands down the legs, so forward fold. Use your block, use your mat. Maybe the palms come to the earth. Looking between those legs, just breathe deeply into the lower back. Take a deep breath, look up towards your fingertips. Begin to walk your feet back and down the mat into your plank. As the fingertips spread out, remember those butterflies under those palms. Start at the shins, shoelaces if we need, lengthen the body. Breathe into the upper body, keeping it strong. We don't want to slouch and lock the shoulders. Full plank, the core should be firing. Good job. Take that tailbone, lift it up to the sky, coming to that downward dog. Soften the knees if you need. Ears fall between those arms. Now breathe nice and deep. Lower through the heels, lengthen through those legs. Chest sinking deeper and deeper towards the earth. Pull your shoulders towards your hips. Keep them active. When you're ready, take that deep breath. Look to their fingertips. And as we lower the hips, bend those knees. Draw your right leg forward this time into your lunge. Spread your toes out, get your stability. Right knee is over that ankle. The balls of the left foot are on the mat with the heel reaching back. As we come up to that right knee, we balance the hips, we find our balance through our body. Good job. Let the hands release to the sides, and as we come up, belly breath, opening up to that left hip, shoulders roll back. Just lengthen through your body, feel the power through your legs. Your shoulders are soft. We'll just concentrate on our breath. Good job. Take a deep breath in. Begin to lower the body. Lengthening through the spine. Drop to that left knee. Buckle the mat if you need. Extend to your shoelaces. And then once again, bring your hands to that right knee. Find your stability. Open that hip to where you feel safe. And then draw the arms up. You can stay at the block if you like, or we can go right to the sky with the fingertips. Shoulders relaxed. Good work. Take a deep breath in, relax the shoulders, exhale forward. Curl that left toe back under. Coming up to our lunge or staying where we're at. Get your balance, leave your left hand on the mat, on the block, fist, knuckles, whatever works for you. Right hand comes to that right knee. Pull that right shoulder back, look to the right side of the room as you lengthen your left leg. Now we can stay here, or we can breathe right to that tailbone, draw that right arm up to the sky. Hand to hand length, from crown to heel length. Open that chest, open that hip. Feel the breath traveling through the body, and when you're ready, lower that right hand back down to the mat. We're gonna load that right leg, drawing the left leg forward, coming to that forward fold. Let your hands come to the block, to the mat, but lift that tailbone nice and high. Crown to the earth. Beautiful. Relax the shoulders, draw them back towards those hips. And as we look up towards the fingertips on our inhale, we're gonna find the corners of the mat, walk those feet back into our plank. Find those butterflies under those hands and pull those shoulders and heels back. Good job. Nice deep breath in. Hold, breathe, lengthen. Slowly, slowly come down to your knees, shins, and shoelaces. Point your toes to the back of the room. Look beyond your knees. Make sure they're tucked and hidden. Take a deep breath in. Walk your hands a bit closer under the shoulders or where you feel safe with the wrists. Go wider out to the front of the mat if you need to. Now with a nice long spine, tuck your tailbone under. Deep breath. And as we exhale, pull that belly button to your spine up into our cat stretch. Shoulders pull back to the hips. The crown slowly lowers. Breathing in, tailbone moves first. Lifting it up, curling, opening up that pelvis. Belly expanding, chest. Shoulders still pulling back. Lift up with that crown. Nice long arms, fingertips spread out. Exhale, tailbone tucks under. Coming up into our cat stretch. Nice curve of the back. Shoulders pulling towards those hips, crowns to the earth. And then one more inhale. Tailbone floats like a balloon, lifting it to the sky. Belly fills, chest fills. Crown up to the ceiling. Well done. Come to your neutral spine. Walk your hands nice and high. Come down to your elbows and slowly roll through your wrists. If you need to go to a sitting position, go ahead, but give your wrists a little bit of a break. Roll through them. And at any point you find a little tension building up in those wrists, please take time to release them. And then bring the palms back to the mat, spread the fingers out. Slide that tailbone back. And if you want to lift your elbows off the mat for a little more lengthening, active stretch, go ahead. Otherwise, leave your elbows down. Or bring your hands around to your sides if you need a bit of a break on those shoulders. You can put your forehead to the mat, or you can slide your block underneath your forehead. Take this time to recover, to notice your breath, to notice your body, to begin listening to it. Take a deep breath in and look to those fingertips. And when you're ready, tuck your tailbone, roll the body up. Coming onto all fours, move your block away if it's out front, just to the side. We're gonna lower to that kneeling plank. Hold as we pull the shoulders back. Draw the elbows towards your hips so the inside of your elbows are forward and your fingertips are pressing into the mat. We're gonna lower to the hips to the mat. And then breathing in slowly. We might have to bend our elbows if it's too much pressure for our spine. But otherwise, we have a nice lengthy spine. Lift to an up dog. Tuck your chin in. And keep your elbows close to your body. Feel your body lengthen and lengthen and lengthen as we breathe. Relax the neck. Drop the shoulders down. And then let the body just flow towards the mat. Perfect. Take that right shoulder, begin to roll it back into our dancing cobra. As we roll in all different directions, see how your body feels. Lowering up and down, side to side, looking from left to right. Beautiful breaths into the body. De-stressing, not loading, but using the power of our muscles with our length. Feel your back gently moving from side to side. Whatever feels good for you. No pain. Perfect. And if the wrist gets sore, go to your forearms. Adapt any pose you need to work for your body today. Beautiful. Coming down to the mat. Lowering towards that crown. Reach through your toes. Take a deep breath in to float your left leg up. Nice lengthy leg. Shoulders pull down towards your hips. And then if you release that left leg to the mat, try lifting your right leg nice and long. Perfect. Find length. Feel the back firing through the glutes. And either alternating from left once again, or both float up. Feel that power. Relax the shoulders. Try not to use the hands. And as we lower both legs, and you've done your left side, go to your right, or lift both legs once again. Feel the power through the back, from the glutes, down the back of the body, opening up the front as you breathe, not hold your breath, and slowly release when you're ready. Take a deep breath in, engage that core, press into those arms, but pull the shoulders back as we come to that up dog. Drop the shoulders back. Don't lock the elbows, don't lock the shoulders. Breathe in, lower halfway, take it to child's pose. Tailbone back. Elbows can go to the mat if you need to, a little different recovery. We can lengthen with the elbows floating. Listening to your body, allow your forehead to lower. Breathe into that lower back. Now as we breathe, once again, listen to your body. See how you feel today. Begin rolling by tucking your tailbone underneath you into that cat stretch. Placing those knees up under those hips, toes behind, curl your toes under, take it to a downward dog. Tailbone lifts, knees lengthen, heels towards the mat. Let your chest sink. Let your body breathe. Now if we get into our downward dog and we find that the wrists are sore, come down to your forearms. This is our dolphin. This gives us another option, but try not to clench the neck, the shoulders. Try to really keep those shoulders active, or we can stay in our typical downward dog position. Inhale, look to your hands, walk your hands towards your feet. Perfect. Now we find ourselves back in our forward fold. Take a deep breath in, slide the hands up above the knees, half extension. Shoulders pull back, elbows towards your hips. Lower through the body, open through the chest as we contract the back. Now as we release back to the forward fold, notice where your block is. If we need to walk our hands up our mat a little bit, reach for your block, and then gently come back, go ahead and do so. Heels planted, toes lined up. Now the block is there if we need it. If we don't need it, we put it to the side. Place your left hand in front of your feet. Fingertips, block, or maybe palm. Take your right hand up that right leg towards your knee, looking to the right side of your body. Think length and straightening out that lower back. If you're good here, bring your right hand a little higher to your right hip. Open up that shoulder, pull it back towards your hip. Feel the length down the back of the legs as well as from the tailbone to the crown. And if you're really good here and you can go up, extend to the sky. Find your palm in the same direction as your heart. Lift that tailbone in the same direction as your fingertips. Beautiful breath into that body. And slowly lower that right hand when you're ready from the hip down to the knee, and then safely back to the mat, to the block, wherever you are. Inhale, soften both knees, come up halfway, half extension, lengthen. Perfect. Press that tailbone back. Try not to load the hands as the elbows stay close to the body. Soften the knees once again as you inhale, roll the body all the way up. Grounding through the feet, the shoulders lift. And place them into their pockets, arms rise, belly breath. Open that chest, drop those shoulders. Beautiful length. Hold for just another breath as we relax and soften the shoulders. And then come up nice and tall, half extension, lengthen. Shoulders back, forward fold. Now this time try your right hand in the center of your feet. Block, fingertips, and each side could be slightly different, so see how we do here. When we have our length to our back of our legs and a nice long spine, then we can attempt to take the left hand up to the left knee, then maybe to the left hip, pulling the shoulder back, lengthening that tailbone nice and high. And if we're good here, we want to try extending to the sky. See how we do as we lengthen, hand to hand, crown to tailbone, tailbone to heels. Breathe into that chest. Pull that left shoulder away from your ear. Breathe deeply into your body, and when you're ready, slowly release your left hand towards your left hip. Down that leg to the knee, to the mat, to your forward fold. Crown to the earth, tailbone nice and high. Inhale, soften your knees, bring yourselves up to that half extension once again. Lengthen the legs, extend through the crown. Pull those shoulders back. Inhale, soften the knees, roll the body up. And as the shoulders lift, Place them softly down. Arms widen this time, belly breath. Chest open, shoulders relax. Into a nice big forward fold all the way down. Take your time if you need. Slide your block to the side if it's in the way. Once we get there, walk your hands up the mat. Come down to your knees. Point those toes behind you. Beautiful. Now take your left knee, drop it back behind you, and take your right hand and bring your right hand a little closer to your right knee. Beautiful. We're going to take that length of the crown to the tailbone, draw forward to the top of the mat, and as we sweep it around to the left, tailbone reaches back to the back of the mat, and as we sweep around to the right, we come back to the top of the mat, circling. Good. Now we shouldn't feel like we're loading the wrists, otherwise we adjust the wrists so there's no discomfort. We might even find ourselves going down to forearms, but not loading the shoulders. But listen to the body, no pain. Flowing gently, lengthening, contracting, moving the body. Beautiful. Now as we come back to center, nice long spine, slide your left knee back in line with your right. Take your right hand that's closer to your right knee, lifting it carefully, using your core muscles to hold you here. Pull your shoulders away from your ears, and then thread the needle under your left arm, under your left armpit. As we lengthen, lower gently down. Your left arm's there for stability. If you need to use your block, please place your block, your pillow. Support your body. The crown, the tip of your crown to your tailbone should stay nice and long. If you're good without your block, we're right down to the mat, pulling that shoulder away from the ear. Palm is to the sky on the right hand. Left shoulder's pulling away from the ear on the top. And if we're good here, we've got that supportive left hand there for us. And we feel pretty good. Keeping those toes separated, we're going to release the left hand maybe to the tailbone. Maybe wrap it into that right thigh. Now, no matter what we're doing, we're lengthening. We're not loading the neck and the shoulders. And we're listening to our bodies. Our bodies are all built differently, so we need to individually learn about our bodies, listen to them, and respect them. Enjoy the movements they give us. Slowly releasing that left hand to the tailbone. Give it a pause, let the shoulder relax. Then let the hand come down in front of the face. Take a deep breath in, slide that right hand back out, and place the hand under the shoulder. If you need a recovery position, go to child's pose. Keep your spine nice and tall otherwise, and we're just going to drop the chin to chest. Lengthen through the neck. Just lengthen up as we lift the crown and look to the center of the room or out front. Shoulders are still pulling back. If my wrists hurt, I'm going to move my hands a little further ahead, making sure I'm not loading directly into the wrists themselves. I'm distributing the weight through the fingertips, and I'm protecting my butterflies under my palms. Just gentle nods. Good job. Now coming to a neutral spine, with the head looking towards the hands, bring your left hand towards your left knee. Your left knee is going to come forward, and your right leg can slide back so that we've got them balanced a little bit more. Now as we find that spine length, we're going to reach forward, over to the left, back with the tailbone, and softly rounding it back up to the right, centered, and back down. Breathing as you go, don't hold your breath. Lengthening from the tailbone to the crown the entire time. And once again, we can go to forearms if we need. We can make the circles smaller. Good job. Take your time. Watch that we're not loading the neck. Use your core, use your back. And as we come to a neutral spine, slide that left knee back, make it parallel with the right. See how we feel here? Pull your shoulders away from your ears to begin with. If you used your block on the other side, keep your block close by for this side. Your fingers are spread out. Now as we lift the left hand, engage that core. Don't load the neck and the shoulders and the back. Use the core muscle. Take the left hand, drop your left shoulder, and slowly lengthen while we thread the needle with that left side. Lengthening through the neck, rest the side of your head towards the mat. Use your block and adjust your right hand as needed. Now your feet should not have moved. They should be behind those knees. Your hips are level. We have a gentle spinal twist happening. Now we don't want to load that right side. Keep the body nice and long. And if you like to release your right hand to your tailbone, if you feel safe enough to, bring it to the tailbone, hold for a minute, or stay here. Threading it all the way, right hand into that left hip if you choose to, really opening up that neck, opening up that right shoulder, but keeping the length from the crown to the tailbone. Breathe nice and deep. Perfect. When you're ready, release your right hand to tailbone. Let the shoulder adjust. And then carefully back to the mat. Spread your fingers out. Don't just load the shoulder. Take a deep breath and use your core and your shoulder to come back up as we withdraw that left arm. If your block is there, just slide it to the side. Perfect. Now tucking that tailbone, we're going to a couple more cat and cow. So spread your fingers out. Tuck your tailbone under. Exhale up into your cat stretch. Pull your shoulders back. Just realigning the spine as we inhale into the belly. Seeing how the shoulders feel now, a little more mobility. Chest open, heart forward. Exhale into that cat. Beautiful job. Let the neck lengthen, and on our final breath, let the belly come up, open to the chest, and look to the front. Good job. Now as we lengthen the spine once again, we're going to widen our hands. So they might come off to the edge of the mat. Mine will, with my long arms. I'm going to keep the fingertips spread out. Adjust your wrists as you need to for your wrist, or your hands as you need to for your wrists. Now we have a nice long spine. We're just going to bend the elbows, lower the heart down, and look as we drop that right shoulder to the mat, in the direction of the mat, look to your left hand. Now if we had a shoulder injury, we're going to not go as deep. We're going to make sure there's no pain. The shoulders are pulling back towards the hips. As we inhale, lengthen as we come up. Look to the center of your mat. Don't lock your elbows. Pull your shoulders back. Exhale, go into the left side. Left shoulder going down. Look to your right elbow. Keep your back nice and long. Your core is engaged. Inhale, grow nice and tall. Come on up. Lengthen the back, don't lock the elbows, pull your shoulders away from your ears. And then we go down to the right side once again. Inhale up. Look to the center of the mat, soft elbows, shoulders back, left side, last side. There we go. Slowly come on up. Perfect. Once we get here, walk the hands back to the center of the mat. Come to your elbows. Roll through the wrists. Make sure that we recover those wrists. Both directions. Soft and gentle. Good job. Place those hands to the corners of the mat as we come off the elbows. We're going to come to our up dog, lowering the hips, pulling the shoulders towards those hips. Spreading the fingers out. Bring your belly and your heart towards me as your shoulders lower. Tuck that chin in. Beautiful. And now let's melt to the mat. Pull the elbows towards your hips, lowering down. Now as we go into a chest opener, watch your shoulders. We can stay here with hands on the shoulders, drop your left elbow and look to your right as our very gentle modification. Just draw the shoulder back. We can take that right hand to that right glute. Or for a little more intensity, watch your shoulders no matter what position we go into. Take your left hand out to the side, thumb towards the bottom of your mat, palm to the ceiling. Now as we roll, go slow. You've got the right hand pressing into the mat. We roll into that left shoulder. We roll in that left hip, and then we sweep that right leg carefully behind us for stability. We can stay right here if we like. We can even rest our head on our block if we need to. If you choose to release your right hand all the way around, go slow, gentle, and you may or may not get to the left hand. But watch those wrists. Chest opens, find your length from your crown to your left toe. Nice deep breath into the body. Now we want to shallow the breath. A little more demanding because we're very tight across the chest usually. Try to get it to your belly, to your back. Ease out of it if we're too tight, too tense, and need a little break, go for it. When you're ready, slowly release your right hand back to the front. Take your time, even if you have to rest it on your right hip. Bring the hand back to the mat. Take a deep breath in, prepare your body, and slowly roll your weight off that left side. Coming back down to the chest. Tuck the left hand back underneath you. Draw your elbows towards your hips. Take a deep breath in, pull your shoulders back, come up to your up dog. And with that up dog, nice and tall, shoulders away from the ears. We can have the elbows soft, but we don't want them locked. Look to the right, look to the left. Pull the shoulders down as we move. One more time to the right, fingertips spread apart. Deep breath into the body to the left. And then back to center, lift through your crown. Check the shoulders always, and lower and melt to the mat. Perfect. So on this side, same thing. If we've had an injury, relax the body. Take the hand possibly to the left hip. Maybe a gentle press into the left hand, looking to the left side. A little more extended. Take your right hand out, palm to the ceiling. Thumb to your toe or to the bottom of the mat. When you roll, go slow and gentle, transferring the weight to the right hip. Your left leg swings gently over the top. And with that gentle shoulder, we may or may not release the left hand to join the right. Now find that length from your right toe to your crown. Just breathe into that chest, open it up. If we're puffing, the body is very tense. Just come out of it a little bit, find that length of breath. Well done, keep breathing. Just feel your heart coming closer and closer to the front. And then when you're ready, releasing that left hand, slowly come back, maybe to the hip first, maybe to the mat. And as we transfer the weight off the right side, the left leg comes back around. We go slow. We let the body adjust, know what we're doing, and bring it back underneath that body. Take a deep breath in, elbows towards those hips, shoulders pull back, grow nice and tall like a flower coming out of the ground as your fingertips press into the mat. Shoulders down. Chin is tucked. Deep breath, the lower halfway. Take that tailbone back to child's pose. Reach, reach, reach. And at this point, if the shoulders seem a little fatigued, just bring them around towards your heels. Leave your forehead on the mat. Give them a little bit of a break. However, think about drawing your shoulders back through the spine so that we're not rolled forward and encouraging that forward fold motion. Inhale, look up the mat. Roll the body up. And coming onto all fours, just softly sweep your heels out to one side. Walk your hands back. And if you like your mat on that puffier mat or on a cushion, go ahead, bring your pillows nearby. And as we center our body on our mat, have a quick glass or drink of water if you need. Use your block to one side. Grab your strap for the other just in case we need it. Awesome. So when we find our sits bones, take a second here once we get set up just to see how our body feels before we rush into anything else. Make sure we're working at our own level today and how our body feels today. So as we come behind those knees, the shoulders should be relaxed. If there's a lot of tension, take your time to move slower. We're gonna roll back, tucking the tailbone under us, exhaling the core towards your spine. And as we roll back, the heels are going to float off. And as we come into that nice relaxed reclined position, we're gonna find our tabletop. Now, palm of the hands come to the knees. We relax the neck to the mat. And the heels should be in line with your knees. So once we find that tabletop, hold here. Let your arms float out to the side. Now, one at a time, we can tap that left toe towards the floor and bring it back up, and then switch to the right. Now notice as we do this that we're not arching the lower back, the lower core is staying nice and strong. This area in our bodies is usually very weak, so go slow, make sure we're working it, tap it if you need, activate it, connect it with the brain. Beautiful. If we're good here, we're going to take those legs back together and do double dips. Now we may not get to the floor, that's okay. As soon as we feel that arch happening, we stop, we encourage the core to bring those knees back up, and then we lower it back down. Now I want you to use your breath. As we exhale, we extend. I want you to use your breath to draw the knees back up like balloons, inflating. Exhale, lengthening. Good. Inhale, coming all the way back up. One more time. Take the breaks as you need, and do not go beyond where you're arching the back. Just take a break. We know the core is gone when we start to use the back. Now reach down, grab your block if it's nearby. You don't have to use it, but we're going to use it for a little prop. We're going to place it on the shins. So if you can keep yourself in tabletop, great. Otherwise, use your block as a little bit of a prop here to help you out. We're going to turn the ankles to the left shoulder, the knees to the top of the mat, corkscrewing the body gently. Feel your left side. Contract your right side open. We come back to center, inhale, and then exhale the ankles to the right shoulder, knees to the top of the mat. And then slowly twisting like a corkscrew, breathing on the inhale, coming back, exhale the contraction for the ankles to go to the side. Inhale, exhale. Now instead of working so much on the contraction, I want you to think about the lengthening. Feel your hip reaching, your spine, your pelvis tilting, the mobility that we're creating. Loosening up that lower back. Now if you notice, if you start to drop the heels, the block will stop or drop. But if you also find this too much, take your feet to the floor and just gently tilt the hips. The heels can go to the floor and we can tilt from right to left. But as soon as we start losing our form, our back will arch, or if we're in full tabletop, we will drop the block. So go slow. It doesn't have to be aggressive, and it doesn't have to be big movements. Just notice the tilting position of those hips. Now this nice gentle lift of the hip is what we do when we walk. We have a little wiggle from side to side because we're lifting and lowering those hips. Perfect. Come back to center. If your feet are on the floor, bring one leg up, then the other. We're going to go into baby pose. And as we go into baby pose, bring the knees towards your armpits. Walk your fingertips up your legs to your pant legs to your ankle, but the heels are in the direction are going to lift up over those knees. We might even grab our big toe, but if this bothers us, we can grab our feet. And as you notice, when we do go into toe grabbing, we're using strength through our big toes. Our shoulders roll back to the mat, we tuck that chin in, and we just breathe into that baby pose, drawing the knees deeper and deeper towards the armpits, opening up those hips. We don't want any tension in the neck, so just breathe and relax. Our yoga is not just about flying through different poses, it's about concentrating on each pose as we do them, maximizing them, noticing the muscles we use, and the tension in our bodies, releasing it. Take a deep breath in, begin to bring the knees closer together. Grab your right knee, right behind your right knee, letting go of your left, lower your left leg to the floor. Now that knee is going to be bent. So the left knee is going to stay active, the pad of the foot is going to stay on the floor. We're not going to get sloppy and drop it to the side. If you need your strap, hang on to your strap, bring it close to you. We're going to begin walking that heel up to the ceiling. Then the hands follow. We're still going to keep that left leg active, but if my right leg doesn't stay straight, I'm just going to reach down and get the assistance of my strap. And I'm not going to pull through the neck, I'm going to pull with the shoulder blades, strengthening my back, building my posture, and not loading my neck. So some days, if I've been sitting quite a bit, I might have to go to my strap. I'm going to relax my hips, and as soon as I get shake, it's my muscles panicking. So I want you to release a little bit, breathe and relax. And from side to side, this can be very, very different. So start with one, treat it like its own. Shoulders to the floor. Nice long leg. Beautiful. Now if you're very flexible, you're welcome to release your left leg down the mat. As long as the shoulders can be relaxed to the mat and the leg stays nice and straight. I'd keep my ankle flexed just to keep my knee and my hip active, so I'm protecting these joints. And remember to breathe, don't hold your breath. Beautiful. Now bringing the left leg back up. If it's extended, plant the foot on the mat, bend your right knee. Take that ankle with your hand, just drop your strap to the side if you can, bring your left leg back up, and we're going to cup the pads of the feet together. Now we can use our strap here too. Just watch the outside of the feet, flex the feet, and draw those into prayer feet in towards your body. Let your tailbone relax on the mat. Open up your chest and tuck your chin. We might be able to grab outside the knees, you might have to cup the knees, or we can reach down, interlock the fingers, and draw the diamond of your feet towards the heart. Now again, we might be okay here. We want a little bit more. Just massage the lower back by rocking from side to side. Try not to pull with the neck and the shoulders. Try to use the core and the back. We have lots of length around the neck. We don't want to keep adding stresses to the neck. Good job. Think about where your eyesight is. Make sure we're not looking behind us, and we're looking to the front. And then when you're ready, just slow that rocking from side to side to a nice still motion. Separating the feet, drop your right leg to the mat. Plant that foot, make sure it's safe, solid on the floor. And then let go of the left, bring the knee towards your left shoulder. Now the hip should be on the floor, walking that leg nice and straight. Maybe the fingertips follow up the leg, maybe we gotta use our strap, but relax the shoulders, relax the hips. And just breathe. Remember, there's nothing wrong with using the strap. The strap is a great prop as long as we're not into pulling through the neck, adding tension and strain. Drop your shoulders back. Give yourself lots of slack. It's almost like you're pulling in a bunch of horses, a team of horses. The shoulder blades come together, the chest opens, and we're strengthening the back at the same time, not loading the neck. Breathe into the leg. Let that lengthen happen. If there's shake, we ease a little bit out. The right knee is active. And then slowly bending that left knee, bring it back down. Joining it to the right, both knees are to the sky. Just put your strap to one side. Your block is there if you need it. Our hands are going to float softly out to the side. The shoulders are going to walk away from the ears. And with our spine nice and long and our feet planted, we're just going to drop the knees to the right, lengthening down that left side of that body. Feeling the hip reaching towards those heels. The chin is softly tucked in. and the body is nice and long. If this is too much, I can prop a pillow, I can prop a jacket, a block, giving my body some support if I need. Inhale, knees back to the ceiling. Use your core to draw back, exhaling. And then inhale, breathe into the right side, drop the knees to the left. Load that body with that air. Pressing the hip down from the diaphragm into that hip towards those heels. Breathe as we hold and release that tension through the lower back, through the hips. And then as we breathe in once again, come back to center. Exhale the core. Strength up. Now this time as we drop the knees to the right, breathe into the left side. But if you like, look over to your left hand. Just opening up to the neck, adding a little more if we feel comfortable to do so. We've got the block if we need that propping. And then exhale, bring those knees back to center, back is to the mat, head is back to the front. And then drop the knees to the left to begin with. Breathe into the right hip, and then again, see how we feel about turning the head towards that right hand. Just close your eyes and enjoy this slow, gentle movement. Shoulders are relaxed. When you're ready, exhale those knees back up. Coming back to center with the head. We're going to lengthen the legs down the mat. Beautiful. We're going to take the hands, bring them over the chest. As we keep our shoulders on the mat, the fingertips are going to come together. We're going to interlock those fingers. Cupping the hands, bring the palms of your hands down towards your diaphragm, below your heart. Your shoulders are away from your ears. Your legs are completely relaxed. On the inhale, push the palms up to the ceiling. Now, if this hurts your wrists, release your hands. But keep your shoulders on the mat, but just lengthen through the back. The shoulders will roll in just a little bit. And then on the next inhale, let your pinkies guide those nice straight arms overhead. And as we lengthen, breathing in, exhaling out, go at your own pace. See how the shoulders feel. Feel the rib cage lengthening from the hips all the way up through the floating ribs to the ribs. No tension in the neck. Just lengthen the sides of the body. Inhale, bring those hands back up. Slowly keep the shoulders away from the ears. Bring the palms back down to the diaphragm, heart area. Just give the wrists a break. Shoulders soft, legs are still relaxed. Push those palms back up to the ceiling. Breathing in, shoulders away from the ears. This time, lead with the left arm to the left side. That left elbow is going to bend. We're going to keep your right arm as straight as you can, but the shoulder away from the ear. We're looking to the sky. We're just going to draw that shoulder over. And your left elbow may or may not touch the floor. Take a deep breath in. Bring those arms back up to center. Take the palms back down to the heart. Give those shoulders a break. Make sure they're away from the ears and the legs are relaxed. One more time. Inhale. Press those palms to the ceiling once again. Shoulders away from the ears. Separate the hands if you need. And then draw over to the right side. Slowly. Just lengthening all the way down that shoulder. That shoulder is away from the ear. Relax the neck. Breathe into the ribs, into the belly, into the back. And then on your next inhale, when you're ready, stay as long at any pose as you like. We're going to float those hands back up. We're going to let the palms come towards the heart. The hands are going to separate. And as we extend the arms to the sides, we're just going to roll through the wrists, shoulders away from the ears. And just close your eyes and begin to relax. Think about the band over the forehead. Notice the areas where you carry your stretch, your tension, as you relax your hands down by your sides or out to the sides. Notice how the jaw feels today. Any pressure around the sinuses can cause a lot of stress in the forehead, so just breathe, relax, release. Notice your eyes beginning to get heavier and softer. Feel your lips letting go of any tension and tightness. And as that chin just begins to nestle down and tuck, the length behind the neck lets go and gets a little bit longer, allowing the shoulders to relax to the mat, allowing the breath to travel easier throughout the body, from the neck to the ribs to the hips, and then gently out to each limb. Now, if there's an area in the body that's a bit tight today or sore, make sure you've propped it, that you're taking care of it, and that you're breathing into it very slowly and very gently. When we protect sore sides, we tend to put a lot of stress on the other parts of the body, so just give yourself a moment to let everything relax. And when I refer to stresses, not just physical muscle stresses, tightness, but emotional as well. Take a moment to take a break, let it go. Let your mind and your body be at peace, calm and relaxed. Feel your hips opening a little bit more as the body lets go. Now, for many of us, this will be the hardest part, is just to stop, slow down, and relax. There's no intention, no competition, no expectations, just peace. And notice the different thoughts that start to float into your mind. The ones that calm you, enjoy. The ones that may be requiring more thought, acknowledge them but put them aside. Notice the colors, the light through the eyelids, the softness of your body, the lightness of your body as your body begins to relax.